Hello everyone, welcome to this very special formal edition of Telegraph Herald More Than the Score. I am your host Steve Ortman. Alongside me this week, Tim O'Neill. Tim, what do you think of the new digs? I guess the higher ups decided we came back from a little bit of a break and now we really want to class this thing up, I guess. What do you think?
Yeah, you stole the words out of my mouth. A touch of class. I mean, all we need are a couple of plants on either side of us and maybe a fern or two, and maybe if you could be a little bit more like Zach Galifianakis, we'd be cooking.
I don't. Do you think anybody else knows what the heck you're talking about there?
There are like 3 people who probably do.
I mean, I know who Zach Galifianakis is, but I'm not sure. I don't follow what you're saying, but
Okay. Anyways,
let's move along because on this very fancy setting here, and which I do believe is just a trial, I don't expect this to be a long-term thing. Yes, it's very special because the Dyersville Beckman softball team is going to state for the first time ever.
Yeah, it's the second year in a row that we've had a team break through and finally make it to the state tournament. This time, Dyersville Beckman, they've been working their way that way for the past 5 years. They got a couple of seniors who've been really key parts of that team the entire time, and this year they finally got it done. They beat Class 2A number 2 Durant 4-2 in Monday's regional final in Durant. And it was really a classic example of these seniors putting their fingerprints all over the game. The 2 seniors on the team, we've talked about them a lot here in the print edition of the TH. It's Sydney Steffen and Heather Bockenstedt. Bockenstedt got things started at the top of the lineup all season long, all career long, and definitely in this game. She scored 2 runs, drove in another, played solid defense at shortstop, and then Steffen, in the pitching circle, she's the epitome of an ace. She got it done for them, and they're going on to the Fort Dodge. The Dirty Dodge, as they call it.
Ah, yes. First time ever. What an accomplishment. Talk a little bit. They play Monday, I believe?
They play Monday at 3:30 against Mount Ayr. Mount Ayr is the number 4 seed at 25-2 overall. They are ranked number 9. Beckman is ranked number 10, the number 5 seed, and is 29-13 overall. Now, I caught up to some of these players after the game. The 2 seniors, of course, we're talking about them. We'll go first to Heather Bockenstedt because like I mentioned, she got things started for the Blazers. She doubled in the third. She stole third, and the throw down to third bounced off her shoulder and into the outfield. She scampered home with the first run, and that was really what got Beckman started. So here's what Heather had to say.
There's been a lot of history made at Beckman in the senior class, and a lot of them left us in softball, but me and Sydney decided to stick it out, and it means the world. I mean, I know it means the world to our coaches, to all our fans. I mean, 2-hour trip down to Durant today, and they all came out and showed out, and we did too. I mean, we didn't let any of it get to us, and it feels so good to have our names in the trophy cases and the record books. I mean, you can't redo that. I mean, it's history. It's the first time ever.
All right, so that was Heather, and she kind of really helped break the game open, really kind of in the 5th inning for Beckman. Shea Steffen opened the inning with a single, and Nell McDermott walked with 2 outs. And in the postseason, Beckman has really got things done with 2 outs. In the regional semifinal, I believe they sent 9 batters to the plate with 2 outs and scored 7 runs. This time, they didn't do quite that, but they did just enough. Heather Bockenstedt with an RBI single, and then Jaden Welling blooped a little 2-run double into center field. The center fielder dove for it, got a glove on it, but the ball just kind of popped free. 2 runs scored, and that was all Beckman needed. It was 4-0 at that point. Blazers are looking pretty good, even against a quality team like Durant, which ended up getting 2 RBI singles there in the bottom of the 5th. But Steffen recovered from that. She retired the final 7 batters of the game. And then the celebration was on. And talked to Sydney after the game. Here's what she had to say about her performance, her teammates, and looking forward to going down to Fort Dodge.
The first 2 outs on 3 pitches.
Yep.
I mean, could that inning have gone any better?
It was amazing because the first pitcher swung at the first ball, so it went right to Heather. So that was an out, and then Kirsten sat on a hard hit ball right to her. So
Perfect way to end it with a strikeout then?
it really was. And I was just going out there thinking, I'm hoping she's going to pop this up or hit a ground ball to the infield and we're just going to take it. But strikeout was even better. I'm not here to strike everybody out. I'm just trying to get ground balls and pop flies for my defense.
All right, finally then,
All right, well, joyous occasion for Dyersville Beckman. One accomplishment always is when you're going to state for the first time. Now, Dubuque Hempstead softball team had that luxury last year, and they were going for a repeat bid. just fell short in a heartbreaker to Iowa City High.
Yeah, it was a great matchup between two teams that met early in the season, the first week of the season, in fact, and Iowa City High took a pair of one-run games from Hempstead. And that was kind of a theme in Hempstead's losses. They were all real close. They had lost 7 games by a combined 11 runs coming into the regional final. And all but one of those losses came against ranked teams, so it's not like they're dropping games against slouches. And this is a team that had graduated 5 seniors from that first state tournament team. So a lot of change over there, but really no change in what the Mustangs had on the field. They advanced to the regional final, and unfortunately, just 2 bad pitches, or not even bad pitches, just 2 good swings by Iowa City High was enough. The Little Hawks got a leadoff home run in the first, and a leadoff home run again in the second inning. And that was it for the offense in the game. Mallory Huseman shut Iowa City High down. Outside of that, Hempstead had its chances. They got the leadoff runner on in 3 different innings. In fact, they had a runner on in every inning of the game, but stranded her at third. I think only once they got a runner to third, and that was in the 7th inning. So unfortunately, just a tough loss for Hempstead, but another great season. The program just keeps on going. It's one of those where they don't really reload anymore. They're not rebuild, they just reload. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. They do lose 3 quality seniors, and third baseman Katie Shaw, catcher Kayla LePage, and first baseman Natalie Schemmel, but a lot of quality players coming back again, so I wouldn't be surprised to see the Mustangs make another run to the regional final next year.
All right. Well, Tim will have all the great softball action covered for you. Dyersville Beckman next week down in Fort Dodge. You can look for that at telegraphherald.com or in the print edition. I think that's going to do it for this week's episode, and I got to tell you, Tim, I think this is going to be a one-shot deal. I can't sit here with my legs crossed the whole episode.
My right leg is so numb right now.
I think we're gonna dial this down. Bring back our cool little screens in the back. Bring our desk back, and we'll get back to a more fun, laid-back episode of More in the Score.
I will strike for the right to put my arms on a desk. That's all I want to say.
But if there's ever a time to have a nice, fancy episode, it's in honor of Dyersville Beckman getting to state for the first time. So that's going to do it for this week's edition of Telegraph Herald, More Than the Score. I am your host, Steve Ortman, alongside Tim O'Neill. We're out of here to ice our legs.